It is 4:05. Meeting called to order. Roll call finds everybody here except Mayor Kleiss. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
No.
All right, somebody want to move approval?
Move to approve. Second.
Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Consent agenda items. Item 5, October 17, 2023 meeting minutes. Item 6, September 2023 list of bills. Item 7, October 2023 list of bills. And October 2023 Dial-R-I fixed route and North Star link reports.
Motion approved.
Second.
Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Is there anyone for open forum?
No. I don't believe so.
Anyone open forum? All right, if not, general business. Item 7, consideration of proposed 2024 program of projects. Paula.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Oh,
This is, as you know, the program of projects is kind of the starting piece for us to do our application for our 5307 funding opportunities. So the CIP items were approved with the 2024 budget. So these are just an extension of that, kind of no changes from what was on the 5-year CIP that was approved back in September. The operating assistance is the same as what was approved into the budget. And so again, this is just kind of the first piece. So this is the proposed program of projects. This will then get published with a comment period. We'll leave that comment period open through December 31st. And then if we don't hear anything, I'll bring that back in January for final approval.
All right, what do you need from us? Just nothing today?
Approval for the proposed that we can move forward with publishing just the proposed piece. So you have approval for this.
All right,
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. It looks like you got item A2, consideration of revised travel policy and revised cell phone policy.
Yes, sir, I do. You get to have lots of me today. So Commissioners, again, revised travel policy and revised cell phone policy. The travel policy, as you recall, we brought forward some changes that were done at both the federal and state level that were part of changes for funding. And so the travel, as was discussed by the board back in September, that we would bring forward the policy just to specifically state that any travel that would be done by the board would be brought forward prior to travel for approval, and then all travel would then be covered on local share 100% for that travel policy. So again, just looking for approval for the travel. And then do you want me just to go ahead with the cell phone, or do you want to approve each one individually?
Do them both together.
Okay, perfect. And then the cell phone policy is just kind of changing some of the language, streamlining it just a little bit. So we did put some language in there just to cover the some new kind of recommendations covering discovery, so that individuals, Metrobus employees would understand that their cell phones would be discoverable if requested by the public if you're getting that cell phone allowance. And then just taking kind of a more streamlined approach by removing the specific positions that were listed in the policy and putting that down more in a procedural area. So just kind of streamlining the policy in that way as well.
All right, Commissioners, any questions on either one of those? Otherwise, I need a motion to approve the
So moved.
revised travel policy and revised cell phone policy.
Second.
Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 9, ratification of AFSCME collective bargaining agreement.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We had 6 different negotiation meetings with the AFSCME bargaining unit, which is our street supervisors. And we were able to reach a tentative agreement on October 29, or I'm sorry, or on September 3rd, or I can't remember the exact date, but the members voted it up on October 29th, sorry. Key highlights of the tentative agreement, Article 5 classification and wages, the wage increase over the three-year period was agreed at a 5%, 2%, and 2% general wage increase effective 10/1 of each year. There was also an added section for trainer pay, which would provide a premium hourly pay for any street supervisor that is providing training for a new street supervisor that comes on board. Article 6, hours of work. There was a change to the on-call or call-out pay, increasing regular on-call pay from $4.50 an hour to $9 an hour, and holiday on-call pay from $6.75 to $11 an hour. So that's just specifically for the on-call piece. Article 8, holidays, we did add recognition of Juneteenth as a working holiday. And then we did revise language regarding recognition of the half-day Christmas Eve holiday. And I forgot to mention or make point that the redlined version as well as the clean copy version of the full contract was in the board packet. Article 10, sick leave, we added recognition of the Minnesota Earned Sick and Safe Time. That goes into effect on January 1st of 2024.
Does anybody know how that's gonna work?
Well,
Not even the state.
yeah, right. So we
Surprise there, huh?
we decided we were going to start with just adding the expanded use to our current sick leave, not having two different buckets, to see whether or not that poses an issue of more sick time or a harder time to fill vacancies. If it does, then we said we would revisit, and if we have to split the 48 ESST from our current 96 hours and have 48, we'll look at that in the future, but we're hoping that it doesn't create a huge impact and we can just manage it as one program.
Okay.
Article 19, health and welfare benefits. We agreed to increase the employer contribution toward health and welfare of $5 per week per employee for each year of the contract. Doing this allows us to maintain the benefit of full coverage of those premiums for our employees, which has been a huge recruiting tool for us to be able to say that we're able to cover premiums at 100%. And then Article 20, Healthcare Savings Plan. This is an added benefit where the employer will contribute $10 per pay period into an employee's healthcare savings plan. And that would be, all of this would be retro effective to October 1st, 2023, which would be the beginning of the 3-year contract period. Any questions?
All right, commissioners, any questions?
One question I had would be, we've taken street supervisors out of essential.
Oh, yep, so when this unit was certified by the BMS, the BMS had determined at that time that they were not technically supervisors under the supervisory definition.
Okay.
And so that essential language really should have never been in there. And so we're removing it mostly as an oversight that it shouldn't have been there to begin with.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? Commissioners, your
Motion to approve.
Second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Thanks, Sonny. Item 10, consideration of HR policy update, Chapter 8 holidays.
This is me again. Holidays, the Chapter 8 holidays is our policy that applies for non-union. Again, here recognizing Juneteenth as a working holiday. Also having the language within policy match what we put into place with AFSCME as it relates to Christmas Eve. We did agree to a service end time of 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve, regardless of the day that Christmas Eve falls. Then our employees would have a reduced work schedule so that everybody is, instead of You might have somebody whose normal shift would be beginning of the day till 4 p.m. and then middle of the day till 9 p.m. or whatever the end shift is. So we're going to compress those so that everybody's getting more of an equitable benefit between time that they have to work on the Christmas Eve holiday and then the 4-hour actual holiday pay.
All right, any questions? Need approval for that one?
Motion to approve. Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. And one more, Sunday, consideration of HR policy update, Chapter 9, leaves of absence.
Right, so this again is specific to sick leave and adding reference to Minnesota Earned Sick and Safe Time into our non-union policy. Again, as I had explained, that we're going to attempt to add all of the qualified allowable reasons to our current policy and see how that works out. And if we have to reevaluate and make adjustments in the future, we'll do that.
All right, commissioners?
Motion to approve. Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Department update, marketing update.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Nate Ramacher. I am the Marketing and Communications Manager at Metrobus. We're lucky enough to have a two-person department, so it includes Lisa, our Marketing and Communications Specialist. And then we also work a lot with Sunny on direction and gives us input and ideas and stuff like that on marketing initiatives. In the last year, we've been doing a lot of work on recruitment advertising for probably fairly obvious reasons. Currently, we are running a campaign on Wild Country featuring Metrobus employees. Ryan is doing a spot over the holidays for us, and then using bus operators or former bus operators to kind of bring that authenticity to that. Hopefully inspire other people to come join our staff. We also, last summer, we ran an ad on the Rocks, the big screen at the Rocks games prior to games. We're going to probably be doing that again this year. Hopes of creating a new video for that, and potentially exploring some options for expanded advertising with the Rocks. As of Friday, we started running ads at Market Theater in St. Cloud, right to Parkwood 18. It's a pre-trailer ad, so watch for that if you're going to any of the big holiday movies. We've heard a couple people that have seen them already. That plays through the holidays and the winter months. We kind of balance like the Rocks campaign with the Market Theater campaign, so we try to get coverage and where the entertainment is for the time of year. We also are restarting. We ran a campaign last year with streaming ads on your YouTube and stuff. We're restarting that soon for recruitment. We do social indoor ads, which is a nice way of saying the restroom ads that you see around town. That's throughout Stearns County. We have kind of pivoted locations for the winter months to be more like theaters and bowling alleys, fitness centers, event centers, stuff like that. In the summers, we do like golf courses and restaurants that are on the lake or whatever, kind of hit where people are at. And then lastly, we also did in the last year a Snapchat campaign and digital billboards around town you may have seen, and we plan to potentially redo those or restart those again in the summer months. We've also been doing a lot of work on the Metrobus Forward campaign, which is the name we've given to the long-range transit plan stuff that Mayor Hunsinger was at when we did the working group with that. The marketing department in particular is contributing on development of those communications and ensuring that our brand standards are maintained through that campaign. We also have had an ongoing social media presence. Lisa again does the majority of that on Facebook in particular, also on Twitter. We use that to promote service, recognize staff, recruitment, general information such as detours, and also specific campaign or event posts to inform the public what we got going on. We also, of course, coordinate the North Star Link advertising. So primarily that is digital ads on various websites and Facebook, and then also a billboard on Highway 10. If you see any of that, that's us as well. The marketing department coordinates the on-bus or the Metrobus advertising program for, as revenue for us, right? So advertising on buses, we do direct sale buses to Pepsi, to Burnings Pepsi, St. Cloud Orthopedics, and SESU. That brings out in about $4,400 a month. And then we also do advertising through Help Transit Advertising. They coordinate all our other bus wraps or bus panels, interior bus ads, and that brings in, well, the last 11 months, we've averaged about $7,000 a month that brings in, so. We are in the midst of planning this year's Jolly Trolley Food Drive. As an FYI, that's December 12th through 14th. We'll be at Coburn's on Cooper on that Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'll be at Lunds and Byerly's, and on Thursday, we'll be at Coburn's in Sauk Rapids. Those locations have been great partners for us over the last few years. Last year, we collected about 5 tons of food and $4,100, bringing us to a total over the 13 years of the food drive of 47,800 pounds and $26,400 that we've collected. So great drive. It benefits Catholic Charities, Salvation Army, and the Promised Neighborhood Food Shelves. So watch for that. If you want to stop by and drop off food, please do. Or money. Money works well, right?
Yeah.
Always fits. We also, last year, I gave you the updates that we were working on our hallway of history. That is now complete, so if you haven't, take a trip down the hall towards Ryan's office and check that out. We're pretty proud of how that turned out. And then lastly, you may have noticed there's some buses parked outside in an unusual spot. That was a big project in the last year. We have what we call our kindness bus. It's kind of the more colorful one. Again, Lisa designed that. Just kind of, as it says on it, we're circulating kindness throughout the service area. So that's just trying to get good vibes out there. And then we have what's been called internally the US bus. Features Metro West employees on one side and then cross-section of community on the other side. And just kind of sharing our great employees and great communities, the diversity and the strength that we have through that. So, any questions?
All right, commissioners, anything for Nate?
The graphics look cool.
Yeah, they do.
Really nice.
Makes you wow. It's a wow factor.
So we're going for it.
Like the colors.
All right, anything else from anybody? Not?
Happy Thanksgiving to
Yep,
everyone.
thanks.
Yeah.
You too.
Good family.
Yep. We are adjourned at 4:22.